Today's topic, boosting emotional well-being. We are emotional beings. Though we are spiritual beings in a human experience, we have the power to create emotions in our being, in our consciousness. And emotions are powerful streams of energy generated in our consciousness. We need to understand them. We need to use them appropriately. And we need to use them wisely on our journey to freedom and true well-being. Our spiritual consciousness gives us a heightened awareness. And this heightened awareness on the spiritual path is an invitation to see more in the consciousness. Not just thoughts, but also emotions. Emotions are an important part of our lives. Have you observed this? How do you feel when you're sad? How do you feel when you're lonely? How do you feel when you're fearful? How do you feel when you're angry? How do you feel when you're bitter? How do you feel when you are hateful? How do you feel when you are driven by greed or hijacked by greed? How do you feel when you're full of pride? And how do you feel when you're full of love, compassion, caring, kindness, faith, hope, trust? How do you feel? So these are tools that you can use on the journey. Some people prefer to be emotionally neutral. And of course, they have the right to do that. But there is so much more to be gained by using emotions wisely. When you go into any space, you are happy when you're greeted with a smile. You are happy when you're greeted with respect. You are happy when you are honored. You are happy when you are served with love and kindness and compassion. So we love to receive these feelings in a space. By the same token, we should enjoy giving. Remember, I said it's a tool to be used. And if you observe carefully, where the chakra that involves love is placed, it will tell a great story. On the chain of 7 chakras in our spiritual energy being, we have the first 3 that is very much involved with the physical. And then we have the 4th, which is nurturing, comforting, healing. And then we have the other 3 in the ascension, or in the path of ascension. So see where it's placed? In the middle, in the heart of everything. It supports the upper journey and it nourishes the lower. What a marvelous place to be. So it's placed in such a way to give you an invitation to nourish the lower and to support the upper. It's at the heart of everything. When spiritually awakened, and this is extremely important, when spiritually awakened, this chakra takes another dimension. Of experience. Love moves or begins to move from being conditional and human-centered to being unconditional and divinely centered. We no longer are trapped by the physical unconditional loving, but we begin to experience another space of emotional uplift that can help us to feel freedom from stresses. If you look at where this is placed in terms of the knots I've been telling you about, the granthis, it is in the Vishnu Granthi area. It is the place where we are nourished. Vishnu is the preserving energy of life. So it is the place of energy preservation, nourishment of our spirit. And in the journey, you can see the difference in a human being who is loving. You see what kind of energy fills the being. There is brightness. There is vitality. There is positiveness. There is compassion. So even the physical is nurtured by this kind of energy. Remember, I said this is a tool to be used on the journey. If we want to create spaces of harmony, if we want to create unity in any space, the moment love enters that space and it's selfless, it promotes unity consciousness. But of course, when love is focused on the lower centers, it can easily become hijacked. And that's why we have upper chakras to give the support to the love. So the most powerful companion to love in the human experience is when the Ajna chakra opens up. Then it's able to support love in a very powerful way. So it is important that head and heart work together on the journey. It is important that there be a balance in wisdom and passion on the journey. Otherwise, we'll never be able to explore the fullness of the heart. It is the wisdom that helps us. It is the intelligence of the being that allows us to love in greater measure and to move from selfless loving to selfish, to move from selfish loving to selfless loving. So we need to go to the Rudra Granthi on the journey to bring out the fullness of love. And the head or the wisdom chakra must support that. What this means? That we need to be more aware. Today we see the subject of emotional intelligence appearing. An extremely important subject. Instead of just measuring someone's IQ, we are finding it important to measure EI, emotional intelligence, the level of emotional intelligence. And this means the ability to be emotionally appropriate in a situation for our own good and for the good of the space. So emotional intelligence is all about being appropriate in terms of our emotional posture to bring out the best in our relationships, even if it's a relationship with our own physical body. What is it saying to us? that we need to be aware of every emotion that passes through our consciousness. We need to be aware. How many of you are really aware of what anger does to you? Of what hate does to you? Of what unforgiveness does to you? What loneliness does to you? What fear does to you? How many of you really look at the experience? It's a stressful experience. When it stays within you for a longer period than it should. And when you are aware of this, then that's an invitation to come to a deeper place of loving. And that's where the chakra of the eyebrow comes in. The intellect comes in. How can I love in a deeper way? We begin to ask using the intellect, how can I love in a deeper way? How can I move my love another step? That's wisdom. And it is then that we can begin to protect the heart, to open up the heart. So the head needs to protect the heart. So on the journey, you need to stay in awareness of the emotions that are in your space. And you need to use your intelligence, your wisdom, to use the appropriate emotion that will open up your inner space of consciousness to higher qualities and be able to manage the lower emotions. You need that quality of wisdom. It is important to note that all the love that you are seeking is right within you. The heart chakra puts you in touch with an infinite source of love. It's only an illusion to think that we can become ultimately happy by searching for love outside. When the chakra opens up, it begins to give us that experience that love is within me. And as we search deeper into this experience, we'll realize that to deepen that love, to grow that love, we need to go closer to our spiritual being. We need to enter that spiritual space more and more. So there's all love in the spiritual space. This is what I have found in my experience. Looking for love on the outside led me to a journey within, to the fullness of love. Today I don't look for love anywhere. I want to give love. I can receive the love of others in the space, but I receive it in my love. And I can connect with their love to realize that all love comes from one source. So let us not be beggars for love, and let us use love appropriately in the human experience. And let's use wisdom to do that. So emotional well-being is extremely important in a journey. And emotions are a tool. They are energies that we can use appropriately. Being careful not to be hijacked by emotions that waste our energies away. So be emotionally wise. Stay spiritually connected to the source of all love, your spiritual being.